The Messiah that these Jews desired at this time was so incredibly superficial, where Jesus just met basic needs, such as, okay, we don't have to pay taxes anymore. Jesus came to do so much more than deal with the petty little things of this world, even though Roman oppression's huge. Jesus came to accomplish so much more than sometimes we give him credit for. And I was really struggling with this message because I've realized that in my own faith and in my own walk with Jesus, in my own walk with God, I have oftentimes conformed God to my image. And I have decided to warp the function of Jesus to make myself more comfortable. I have often said, Jesus, he's just a great teacher and, a great guy and a good, good leader, and he was awesome. But I don't need him to save me. And I say that sometimes in my heart as a truth, when in reality I'd be calling God a liar. I want to really focus on the function of the Messiah, because many of us don't understand the complete function of the Messiah and what he's really meant to accomplish. He's not meant to accomplish us building a church and coming and kind of feeling good for ourselves for 45 minutes and then leaving, right? He didn't come to establish a religion where we follow a set of rules and then we go about our way telling everybody that they're wrong. The Messiah, wanted to accomplish so much more than that. I want to focus on the verse where it says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. The acceptable year of the Lord was a special holiday on the Jewish calendar. It was established in Jeremiah. And this was a very, very, very special day, okay? The year of Jubilee. And it was every 50 years. If you were ever in debt, if you had to sell yourself into slavery or in servitude because you owed somebody a debt, if you owed anybody any money, once every 50 years, the entire debt that everybody owed, no matter how vast it was completely let go. No more debt. It was forgiven completely. Anything you owed your neighbor, anything you owed the bank, it was forgotten. The year of Jubilee was the most exciting year of the entire century. The year of Jubilee was what everybody hoped to live for because everyone got themselves in debt in one way or the other, so much so that some had to sell themselves into servitude for years and years and years. So could you imagine the celebration that would happen in America if this happened? Like if China's like, don't worry about it, Would you imagine the type of celebration we would have if the banks are just like, don't worry about your credit card debt, we've got you. Imagine that type of happiness and that type of joy and the merriment that would happen, not just with the few select people, but pretty much everyone's affected by debt in some sort of way. Imagine that type of relief. Imagine that weight off their shoulders. This celebration, the year of Jubilee, was meant to foreshadow every single day walking with Christ. You got to know this. This specific celebration was meant to foreshadow the way life would be every single day for those who are in Christ Jesus. Because we are vindicated, God has forgiven our debt. And this is cause for complete merriment. This is cause for satisfaction and love for everybody. This is the function of the Messiah. This is why he came. This is why he came, to bind up the brokenhearted and to set the captives free.